This video is going to help you get data into the Excel file for project 1. There's two files you need to have open. Once you get Capital IQ loaded, so this is after you have Capital IQ loaded on your machine, there's the Russell 3000 companies file. This is all under file for projects, and the Excel model for project 1. You'll start with the Russell 3000 file. Once you get that set up, then you'll copy and paste into the Excel model. So let's look at the Russell 3000. Right now it's set up for Walmart. You notice in row A4, that's Walmart, and there's in column D the 2. Wherever the 2 is the company you're doing. The 1s are all the competitors we're going to put against Walmart. Now I set up Walmart's competitors almost picking companies myself because there are certain companies like Amazon that were in completely different categories. So for you, I'll show you how to do it where you can use these industry groupings from Russell 3000 to help you set up your company. So what you want to do first is get rid of the 2s and 1s here. So what you do is you put your cursor on D4, hit the Control and Shift button on your keyboard and hit the down arrow, and that will highlight all of those companies, and just hit the delete key. Then find your company. Let's say we are doing Netflix. So you can do a search on Netflix. There it is. I'm going to put a 2 in column D next to Netflix. And I'm going to see if I can figure out which of these categories I'm going to use. The first column is the sector. That's usually way too broad. The next one is media and entertainment. That's a little bit less broad, but maybe too many companies. Then entertainment, and then movies and entertainment. I could probably use F, G, R, H. Any of those would probably work. The key is you need to have at least 20, 30 companies. Probably 40, 50 would be better. The spreadsheet is set up to do 50. So if you do more than 50, it will ignore those after 50. So Netflix is in these categories. I'm going to use column F. Look at the column F, but I could use column G, R, H. It's your opinion of what best describes this company. If you use column H and then you sort it and then there's only 4 companies in column H in that category, then try again with column G or F, but I'm going to use column F. So once you know which column you're looking at, then do Control and the Home key, get back to cell A4. Then you're going to do Control-Shift down and Control-Shift right 3 times. You need to have it highlighted all the way through column I. Then do Data, Sort. And what you want to do is you might take off this My Data Has Headers. If you're using a Mac, it may look a little different. But what I want to do is sort by column F. I'm going to do A to Z. And then I like column I, that's market cap. And when you do market cap, that's the size of the firm, so it puts the largest companies first. So I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to do Control F for find, and I'm going to find Netflix again. So there's my Netflix. So here's my media and entertainment. You can see it gets pretty specific over in column H. You could probably get away with column G. They have them in column G just in something called entertainment. But I'm going to take all of the media and entertainment, and I'm going to put a 1 by all the competitors except for Netflix keeps the 2. So I'm going to copy that down until I get to the bottom of media and entertainment. It's quite a few companies. So now in column D, I've got the companies that I want. So now what you do again, Control Home, go back to A4, make sure you're on row 4. Remember I said if you're on row 1 and you do a sort, you're going to mess the whole file up. So go to A4, do Control Shift down, Control Shift right a few times until you get over to column I. And now we're going to do sort again. This time we're going to sort not by column F, but by column D, but we want to do largest to smallest so that our company with the 2 is the first one, the 1s are next, and then the blank cells are out of the way. And we say OK, we now have our company at the top, and we have all the competitors, and they're in size order. So since my model only does 50 companies, at least you'll have the 50 largest. Now what you do is go back to A4 and do Control-Shift down, Control-Shift right. Here you probably only have to go Control-Shift right once, but just make sure column I is highlighted. Then you do Control-C, or you can right-click the copy. You want to copy, and you go over to the other file, the bigger file, which is the file that's the model, Excel model for paper 1, and you have a sheet that says Russell 3000 paste values. Just go to A4 and right click, and you want to hit this 1, 2, 3 here. So you paste it as values, and now you have your company set up. And I'm in Capital IQ. You can see that it immediately starts calculating. And so you have to wait for that calculation to finish. That just means it's pulling the data for all of these companies that you just brought in. So it's pretty amazing the amount of data we're going to get very, very quickly. But it is pretty slow. You can see why I said do this in the separate Russell file first, because if you could do what we just did in this main file, but every time you change something, that Capital IQ is going to come up. The last thing you have to do is this next sheet here. It's called tickers. When you go on the tickers, you want to go to D5 and type your company name and use a short name. Don't use a long name because it's not going to fit on the graph. So you look at print page 2. You can look there real quickly. You can see, like in chart 5, Netflix fits in there really, really well. What you don't want is this legend to be 2 lines or 3 lines. So make the name of your company small enough so that it fits. Once you've done that, just save the file. If I were you, I would do File, Save As, and instead of it being Walmart at the beginning, I would change it to your company so that you know it's your company. And just save that to your whatever drive you have. Make sure you know where you saved it. So I hope that helps. Thanks.